heaven?
No. It's Iowa.
All you gotta do is find a kid. You take care of him. You don't hurt him or anything. You just hold him for a little bit, and you get money out of rich guys that are trying to build shoes. What do you think?
Sounds perfect. I've actually been, coming up a little short on my bills lately, so looking for a way to just get a little extra cash flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How many kids does Elon have? He probably can't even keep track of them all.
Imagine how much he would pay. He might pay, what, $10,000 for one of his kids?
And maybe even 12,000.
Maybe.
Upwards of.
He's cut them off. He's cut off half of them financially, so you got to find one he actually likes. What's the one he keeps putting on his head? That one. I bet he'd pay for that one.
Oh, the human shield he keeps around him?
Yeah, the mini-me kid. All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't his name X or something like that?
Sure, yeah. Find one of the nouns or verbs that his kids are. All right, cool. We're talking high and low on the Pod of Dreams. Welcome, everybody, to the Pod of Dreams. If you listen, we will pod. We're here with Ben and Kevin, and I'm Eric, and we're talking Akira Kurosawa's film from 1963. We're going way back in the black and white. The movie's called High and Low. I'd never seen it before I picked it because Spike Lee is making a reimagining of this movie. It's coming out in a few months. Just dropped a trailer for it. Looks pretty interesting. And I wanted to see the original. I don't have a lot of Akira Kurosawa takes. I think I've only seen Seven Samurai, and I might have fallen asleep.
Oh, man.
And I've seen Yojimbo, which I loved, which was remade millions of times, it seems like. And then what's the one with the arrow scene where they were like really shooting arrows at the guy at Mifune? Was that Hidden Fortress? Does that sound right?
I could get it mixed up. That's one of Kurosawa's movies. I don't remember.
Where they were like really shooting arrows at him. Maybe
I thought it was Ron. I thought it was.
Oh, maybe it's that one.
Throne of Blood. I think it was Throne of Blood.
Okay, whichever one where they're actually shooting real arrows at him. He was like, "No, I want you to shoot real arrows at me." That one's really cool. It's weird, but very cool. Anyways, we're talking high and low. No samurais in this movie whatsoever. Sort of a modern movie at the time. What'd you guys think?
Eric, are you getting pretentious on us?
I might be.
You get pretentious, bro? There were no boobs in this movie. I love the movie. I don't think I've seen a Kurosawa movie I didn't love, but I'm more curious. I'm curious what Kevin has to say, but Eric, I'm most curious what you had to say. You picked the movie, a black and white movie from 1963. Did it bore you to tears?
Well, so here's the take you probably could have seen coming. It's way too long. It's like 2.5 hours long. But I will say this: once the kid was returned and they did the whole investigation to try to find the kidnapper, I thought I was just enthralled. I thought that was fucking
a bunch of bros getting together to fix the problem.
Good at their job, doing their shit. Like the cop meeting where each of the guys stood up and had like what lead they were working on and what evidence they were tracking down.
Oh, it's so organized, Eric. Oh, yes, it's so precise.
They're all good at their jobs.
Focused.
Were they good at their jobs?
Absolutely. You know how hard that would have been to solve that crime?
They already solved it. They figured it out right away. The little kid found out where he was at. They found out the guy with the bandage on his hand. They figured it out right away.
Well, the kid solved the crime, really. The little boy.
The little boy did.
But anyways, I love that. I really love that part. And it was probably half the movie, right? Wouldn't you say it was basically the second half?
Yes, the first half is the kidnapping. Procedural. Yeah, and then the second half is the finding the culprit. Yeah, it's split that way. That's reasonable.
But they allow him to kill another person while they're watching him.
I was just a heroin addict. Who cares?
I have questions about Japanese criminal code because like there were so like how did they not have him on more crimes? Like they could have charged this guy with all sorts. Oh, it wasn't his actual kid that was abducted, so it's not kidnapping. Like what the fuck kind of law is that? That's some stupid goofy shit. But maybe Japanese law is different. And it's also like, did you have to witness him committing the crime? Like you have all of the evidence that he's attempting it. The fact that the two people died from heroin and they could tie it back to him, and they're like, we can't charge him with that. Like what? You couldn't charge him with the murder?
Gave them the heroin. How could they at all prove he definitively?
You don't think you could get a jury to convict this guy of those crimes?
Maybe.
You guys are both lawyers. Like you could convince the jury that this guy was responsible.
You also could convince the jury that there's reasonable doubt.
Do they have juries in Japan? Is that
exactly?
Even how,
this is the whole question. Like, obviously the laws are different there. That's not a maybe. The laws are not exactly the same as they are in the U.S. I don't know. I take them at their word that they didn't think they could get the guys for the heroin overdose. They're giving them like the pure grade heroin. That's fine.
Uncut.
Yeah, like the 90% pure or whatever it was. That's fine. I don't know. I we can talk plot, but I'm more fascinated. So how bored were you the first half when it's just everybody in a room basically
talking
for the
about
entire hour and 10?
I was honestly it dragged. It really dragged me down. I was like, okay, come on, like we spending too much time on the shoe fucking business. Okay, we spent way too much time on this shoe business. And why are these old guys so obsessed with women's footwear? I was just like, I don't care. I just don't care. So I was bored. I was very bored. I did not like that part of this movie. But I was interested. I was like, how is this going to work out? Because at that time, the boy was still kidnapped. I didn't know the ending. I didn't know how this was going to play out. It was kind of interesting the switch. So if you haven't seen the movie, obviously, if you're listening to this, maybe go check out the movie. But it's basically
boring, bro.
About a kidnapping. So he's an executive for a shoe company, and his son is playing with his chauffeur's son, and then they both kind of disappear for a while, and they get a call that his son has been kidnapped. And then later his son comes back and he's like relieved. Oh, okay, my son's fine. The kidnapper calls back and they actually have the chauffeur's son. He thought he was his son because they were like wearing the same clothes or wearing his clothes, something like that, right?
They switched. They were playing cops and robbers.
He's dressed like a cowboy, right? Yeah.
And they switched outfits. So the chauffeur's son was wearing the rich guy's son's costume. And the other guy was hiding, and the guy in the cowboy outfit got caught.
Kidnapper mistakenly grabbed the wrong kid. But he's still like, I don't give a shit. You're still paying me. Like, I'll kill this kid. And he wants, 30 million yen or something like that?
That's exactly right.
Do we know how much that was in U.S. dollars in 1963?
I don't. You could Google it.
You don't know that off the top of your head?
Sounds like a lot of money. Like $30 million or something.
I'm sure it's less than 30 million, but still. It's a lot.
And so, there's this whole, debate is like, does he pay? It's not his kid. And then there's this whole backstory of he's part of this hostile takeover. He's trying to basically buy out everybody in the shoe company. He's leveraged all his money, so he doesn't really have the money. And if he does try to raise it, it will destroy his chances and he'll lose everything. So that's kind of the backstory of.
That's the moral dilemma. Like he loses. He loses his fancy house and all the nice stuff he has, but he gets keep the kid
equivalent.
Alive.
100 yen is equivalent to 515 yen now. So 515 yen in U.S. dollars. So that's about $3.50.
Total?
And multiplied by million. So it's like $3 million.
I got it. Okay. So it's a lot. It's a lot, 1963. Well, all right. So Eric was bored when it was people talking in a room. When it was dudes getting together to solve a crime, Eric was on board. Kevin, you hadn't seen this before.
No,
what were your thoughts?
I saw it before. I saw it just last year.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I wanted to brush up on my Kurosawa. And Yeah, it was. I thought it was interesting, the whole hostile takeover part of it.
Yeah, I was very interested from the get-go. I wasn't bored. It was a very clear, like, this whole thing, there's a lot of a critique of Western capitalism is just entrenched and drenched in this movie.
Oh yeah, that
But I
gets
was-
your pleasure centers going. Critiques
Yeah, I
of
like it when
capitalism.
movies have
Boy.
themes. When they have themes, when they have ideas. Yeah, no,
As
that
soon
interests
as
me.
soon as they showed the kidnapper looking up at the house and saying like, "I hate these rich people," you just got super erect, didn't you? Just like, oh my god,
Well,
this
that
is
was too
exactly what
explicit.
I want.
That was too explicit.
It was
There's
too
more
much like
subtle things there.
Parasite.
It was a lot.
Oh.
There was a lot of. I thought a lot of Parasite in this movie.
Did this movie rip off Parasite? Do we
Or-
think?
Parasite rip off this movie? You mean?
Oh, yeah.
Other way
oh,
around.
yeah. Oh, I guess so. Yes, I thought about Parasite as well watching this movie. There's definitely. It was
Be a
super.
great
the
double
guy,
feature.
the guy
Just like
wants
Parasite.
to make expensive, high quality products that last a long time. Everybody else wants to make super shitty stuff that is way less expensive to make and will break down very quickly, so they can keep making people buy it. It's this hyper capitalist view. He's trying to fight these guys that want to make shitty products. And I was instantly on board. I wanted that guy to win. I didn't want the people to make shitty shoes. And instantly that whole dynamic was interesting to me, the corporate takeover. And then it quickly transforms into a different movie because he's got the moral dilemma of course he's going to spend the money to save his own kid, but when it's somebody else's kid, then there's a, do I have an obligation? Will they actually kill the kid? I kind of want to not lose all my stuff and do this corporate takeover. And there's this whole dilemma, and it gets mixed in with a lot of other stuff. But there's this spot, I paused it, where he hadn't yet decided that he was going to pay the money. And the rich guy's up here in the top left of the frame. And then the, chauffeur is over here in the bottom right. And it's just very clear, high, low, this visual reference to status and power. And just as the cops,
I read somewhere, doesn't it directly translate the original title as Heaven and Hell, right?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
that would make sense too. I mean, I know you're mocking it because I guess you don't want it to have a message, but yes, you can see this giant beacon house on the hill that's got air conditioning and all the amenities, and it's really, really great. And everybody else is just stewing underneath in hell.
I love the sweatiness of this movie. I thought that was super cool.
I
really
agree.
did. Yeah.
I kept thinking of all the cops
Super
that are
great
trying to do
touch.
the work.
Yeah.
Like they're sweating as they're doing all this work, and they're doing it for this rich guy. They're trying to get this rich guy's money back. I mean, you talk about there not being a victim. I mean, the kid was traumatized, but really it's just this rich guy who is out his money. Meanwhile, everybody else is struggling. But yes, everybody's just, I mean, it could be hell. I mean, now that you say heaven and hell, that makes a ton of sense because it's just pristine at the top, and then at the bottom, it's just miserable. But that they're just doing all this work. And we see all the rich people are assholes, except for this one guy who actually is kind of decent. All the other rich guys are terrible. And I love so many little aesthetics touches, like when the guy's getting the heroin, or he's got to buy the heroin because he doesn't
the
realize.
sunglasses, unbelievable. The reflection in the sunglasses.
He looked like a demon in one shot.
Yeah.
He literally
so
looked like a
cool.
demon.
Oh,
The
really
light reflects as he's going.
unbelievable. Yeah.
It was transcendent. And even before then, when he's doing the dance, right? There's all these like American servicemen in there, and they're listening to American music at this club somewhere. And you just get these just little. You can just see the U.S. won the war, and there's just all this Western influence that's crept in and sort of transformed Japanese society, which was, a little more hierarchical.
Yeah, if you think about it, this movie's
realistic.
like, 20 years after Pearl Harbor, something like that? Like, it's pretty recent history.
Yeah, no, it's you can see it, you can feel the time and place, and it's what I like about it. I like the dancing, and it was tense the whole time. It is a movie. If I rewatched it would still be tense. I would still, I think, be.
I guess Hiroshima is probably the bigger event. I said Pearl Harbor, but
Well, it's fine. Yes, the war, the bomb being dropped was less than 15 years before this movie, or 15 to 20. Anyway. I mean, the U.S. has set up a base. This is the country that won the war has set up shop a little bit in the country. But it's immaculately shot. Even when it's in just the room, the camera's super dynamic. The framing is immaculate every step of the way. it's shot within super precise, super immaculate, everything.
But also,
it just looks incredible.
like the scenes where the cops. I love the bosun guy. That dude was my favorite character in the movie. The cop they called bosun.
See the head? Oh, the
He was like
guy?
the second hand cop guy. But all those scenes where they're driving, like that's rear projection, right? They aren't actually driving the car, right? You couldn't tell.
I was wondering the same thing. There was a time where I saw the car turn the corner. I'm like, I couldn't tell if they had mounted a camera in the back of the car.
I don't think they could do that in the 60s, right? Could they?
Why couldn't you mount a camera in a car?
They were too giant. Right? Wasn't it just the logistics of having a camera in the car? I mean, Hitchcock didn't, right? And Vertigo, that's a rear projection shit, isn't it?
Yeah. Some shots would be rear projection, but some of this I just thought was so precise visually that it looked like it had to have been actually driven and shot from a car. But you could be right. I don't know. I just wasn't sure. I had the same thoughts.
Cool. Like you knew where you were, and there was like a real sense of place. Yeah, I mean, Kurosawa's what 5 greatest filmmakers ever, right?
Yeah, his oeuvre is pretty unreal. I've seen, I don't know, like 10 of his movies, and they're all just immaculate. They're all fantastic. He knew what he's doing. But I don't know. I mean, this movie is superbly shot. I don't know. Like I felt like I was a person in the room. At one point, the camera pans down and we look at the shoes. I feel like I was there, just like walking around as just a person in that space. And it conveys so many emotions, despite the fact that people don't emote a ton. I don't know. It's really, really terrific. I don't know. I dug it.
Did you like it? Was this a second time watch then, Kevin?
Yep, second time watch. And I was surprised at how much stuff I'd forgotten. I remembered all the shoe nonsense because that was very predominant in the beginning.
This one has cardboard in it. No steel.
Yeah, it was shit. It was just mass-produced garbage.
I think of that when I put on my Amazon shoes that I bought for $20. These things have fucking cardboard in them. And I have to put my whole weight, you know. It's not like a hat. A hat just goes on your head. Shoes, you have to put your whole weight on them. They had a whole discussion about that. Sorry, Kevin, you were saying.
Yeah. No, I found it pleasurable to watch second time. There was parts that I'd forgotten, and I could enjoy it more the second time, I think, because all that tense nonsense was out the door, and I could just enjoy the artisticness of it. And you're right, the framing was immaculate for every shot, and the camera movement was great, and the car stuff, like when the kid was pointing out various features out of the car, it did look like they were in a car.
If it was rear projection, it could be. It's probably the best rear projection I've ever seen. I'll just say that. I mean, it usually you can tell, even when it's Hitchcock, that it's just canned footage that's behind them. It's just of some car driving somewhere. It felt like they were actually in the car, moving in real space, but I don't know. Props to it if it was rear projection. Again, it was fantastic, even if it was that. We get the little bit of a pink in the one shot.
Oh yeah, with the smoke. That was super cool. I wondered when that was gonna come in, because they set it out where they put the dye in the briefcase. Is like, are they ever gonna come back to this? And sure enough, the grumpy guy at the incinerator plant.
He's great. I think he was an intern. Older people don't usually call me Pops. Like that's just American influence. Pops sounds like a very American phrase that got imported in. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so it wasn't as tense the second, because I feel if I rewatch this, Kevin, it would still feel tense to me. But you're saying the tension doesn't hold through on subsequent viewings.
No, because the kid turns out okay. And really, realistically speaking, a 1963 movie would be hard pressed to do anything to a kid.
Right.
But
I don't know. The heroin stuff was, I thought, pretty intense for a
Yeah.
movie in the 60s.
yeah, that's very true. They were pretty realistic scenes from what I could tell.
Yeah, I think so.
But for me, like the train sequence, for like I said, from that point on to the rest of the movie, I was just like, when it was more about the cops, I was like, I'm all in on this. This is so good. Like that whole, like they realized on the train that, oh shit, like of course he planned it so they could only fit the briefcase through the window. Like there's no way we're gonna catch them. She's like, so take a camera, film the front, film the back, and like get any glimpse we can of the drop.
And it felt Hitchcocky in that sequence.
Yes.
I got a little glimpses of Hitchcock here and there too. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, Kurosawa's seen a Hitchcock movie or two now at this point.
Is that
Just-
what it is, or was Hitchcock influenced by Kurosawa?
Probably both. I mean, they're very much contemporaries.
Yeah.
I think 39 Steps is like 1939, and by this point, Vertigo had come out, Psycho had come out, Rear Window was 54. I mean, I'm sure they influenced each other.
So this is one of his later movies, Kurosawa.
Yeah, this is like late half now. I mean, the first time he's really Rashomon is 1950, and that's the big movie where you get 4 different characters telling the same events, and they all conflict with each other. What happens? And that's Seven Samurai is 54. Like you throw, I mean, Ikiru is 52. So I mean, they really overlap a lot. It would be tough to say one is clearly ahead of the other one. But I don't know. I got Hitchcock vibes, more Hitchcock vibes than I've ever gotten from a Kurosawa movie. Just felt like this random man in this impossible situation, and there's criminals and they don't know where he is, right? Like they're looking around on the train, and you just don't know. Like we don't know how this is going to play out. It was tense and it was wonderful, and I love not knowing exactly how it would go. Yeah, I didn't think it was likely the kid would die, but still, it wasn't. What direction are we going with this? I don't know. It's like it could go any direction. I don't know. It's terrific.
Yeah, the other Kurosawa movie you should watch is Stray Dog. That's another detective movie.
Oh,
It's got a police procedural. That was earlier on in his career. I think Stray Dog is 1949.
yeah. Okay, that's pretty early.
Dude, was this like released in the U.S.?
Yes.
Oh, American release 1986. Does that sound right? Oh, re-release, American re-release. So did it actually come out? It was released in Japan, was a box office success, and then opened in New York. Yeah, so it did. The week of JFK's assassination.
Oh my.
Wow.
Interesting. That's crazy to think that this was coming out like at that time. Wild stuff.
I also got
Yeah.
some Godfather vibes. I know this is before Godfather, but I mean, our protagonist has got this like old school mentality. He grew up building shoes when it was still imperialist Japan. Worked his way up from the bottom and just values hard work and isn't just some rich guy who owns stuff. And then everyone wants to push him out because he's got this old way of thinking. We want the new capitalist way of thinking. You're it's business. We need to make more money. Screw you and your love of shoes, right? You weirdo who's obsessed with women's shoes. Fuck off.
So I was kind of intrigued by the kidnapper because you don't get a ton of information about him, but I thought that was kind of intentional.
At the end, he meets with him, and
Right.
then you get his motivation.
But he does tell him, he's like, I'm not going to tell you why I did this, like, right? Doesn't he even say that? He's like, I'm not going to tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing.
I'm not going to tell you my sob story. I don't
Yeah,
want your
right.
sympathy.
Right. Which is good. Like, I don't really need to know why he's doing it other than to get back at this rich guy because he stared at him from his, super hot house and watched him from afar, this rich guy with everything that he wants. So, like, Japanese doctors don't make any money? What's going on there?
Well, he was an intern, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, working his way up, eventually he'll make some money.
Yeah, maybe. But in the meantime, he's
guys that make
in the
shoes
winter.
Make more than doctors. Like, what's going on?
Well, if you're an executive at a company, yeah, you do. Sure, the CEOs of companies tend to make more than doctors. And this is Japan, and so I'm not like bloated insurance rates. I don't know. I have no idea how much doctors in Japan made in the 60s, but yeah, he might have eventually been able to accumulate wealth. But I mean, it was the heaven and hell theme. Yeah, he resents God up there in the heaven, in his ivory tower, comfortable with air conditioning, while he has to just mire and sweat and toil away.
And he wanted to bring Jesus down? Is that? Or no, not Jesus. That's not right.
Maybe
the devil didn't bring Jesus down, did he? Did he bring something else down?
He brought himself down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know, the Vikings playoff success. I don't know.
Whoa.
Where was Thor in all this? Was Thor up in heaven too?
I don't know. Yeah, he's just this like Machiavellian guy. He just did it out of spite. It was his motivation was just I was born into this shitty situation. He married rich apparently, and he just is envious of the guy. He has to see this guy living a better life than him.
Pretty solid plan. Don't you think? You got to give it to him.
Yeah, he's well thought out.
He worked out all the angles.
But
would have got away with it.
Yeah.
If he hadn't been connected with the heroin people, right? Well,
Maybe.
even still, so the boy. So all right, so let's go through it. So
okay,
boy gets released, right? And they have all those little bits of evidence, but they really don't have anything until that Bosun guy decides to kind of track. Was it the car, the rail line that they knew went through a certain neighborhood? So they were going to go out there, and then they happened to see the kid and his dad, who's also doing the same thing, trying to figure out where he was, trying to have the kid kind of relive it.
Well, the kid finds the place. The Bosun guy that you love, he gets close.
They were right there.
But he didn't find the actual place. They were about ready to drive away, and then they saw the kid was there.
Oh, it was the fish guts on the car, right? That led them to the harbor.
And the trolley and all this other stuff, and the picture
right,
this kid
so
drew.
Cool. Yeah, I love that. You were shaking your head. You didn't enjoy that part of it?
I love that, but it bugs me that's the only stuff you love. It's this like very prescriptive. Here's this just tiny little circle of stuff that will get Eric excited. Everything outside of it, fuck it. It's got to be inside this. That stuff was great. I think everything about this movie was great. It just bums me out that that's the only thing you like.
But
that's
it
why
still wouldn't have solved the crime because, like the chief detective said, is like we're back where we were. Like we have nothing. We don't really.
Yeah, but the kid runs off and says, "I found it. I found it." And
no, but even once they found the house with the dead heroin addicts, they were still nowhere closer to solving the crime or finding.
They were a lot closer.
Guy.
They figured they came up with a plan. So then they were able to come up with the fake "give me more heroin or we're going to talk"
right.
note.
But that's what solved it is that they sort of lured him back out. The guy would have got away with it if he would have just said, fuck it, I'm done with these heroin people.
Maybe. I mean, they would have found the heroin people and probably got them to talk if he didn't murder the heroin people. I mean, I don't think those heroin people would. I think they would have happily talked to the cops. I don't think they would have.
Why didn't he just leave? Just leave Osaka, wherever they are. Like, just get out of there. Go to America. You just got all his money.
Maybe, yeah.
He's got no reason to stay. No family. Nobody cares about this guy. Seemed miserable.
Yeah, maybe he was trying not to call attention to himself, or he wanted to see the aftermath. I mean, the first time we see the ransomer, he's reading the paper, and he gets disappointed when he hears that the guy, he tried to screw over was popular. Everybody's like, "Oh, this rich guy gave up his fortune to save a kid. He's a hero." Then he becomes almost like Jesus, right? This guy is sacrificing his fortune for the life of a boy who's not even his own son, and he's resentful of it. So I think he wanted to bask in the glow of his own crime. He had smug arrogance. I think I'm really clever and I'm going to get away
So
with
it wasn't really about the money. It was just about
It
destroying.
definitely wasn't about the money. Yeah.
this
Oh,
guy.
it's definitely about destroying the guy. Yeah. It wasn't about the money. He hadn't spent it, right? I don't think he'd spent any of it. Maybe a little bit. He gave a tiny slice to the heroin junkies, and that's it, right?
Yeah, he just spent it on heroin.
Which one often does. I mean, can you blame him? Wouldn't you
Well,
spend your ransom money on heroin? I would.
Well, if you were using it to try to cover your tracks, I guess.
You got to buy the
Um,
pure stuff, though.
Well, yeah, you got to test it out because apparently the pure stuff didn't work last time. Yeah. I mean, but the whole tracking him is fantastic. I mean, just the sheer amount of dudes. I don't know, 30 guys tracking him, right? Like a guy walks up and then I walk over and then Eric follows him and then Eric gets to Kevin and Kevin follows him and then it's somebody. It's just like fantastic. It's very good. And the camera's moving along and they're communicating. It's all great stuff.
I just don't know
Right.
why they couldn't just arrest him immediately. Like,
Well, they could have, they said, but he would only be charged for 15 years for kidnapping the kid. They wanted to get him on capital charges.
yeah, I mean, killing the heroin addict, I guess, maybe they couldn't connect him to that. I'm dubious about that.
I know you're dubious, but that was what they were saying is that they couldn't. They didn't have enough evidence to.
If
to
you
pin him
arrest
on
the
that.
guy, you get the money back. 15 years seems like not a bad deal. So it seems like a good case. You go to the public, say
they
we
wanted
caught
to
the
get the
guy,
capital offense.
we saved the kid, we saved the money. We're throwing this guy away for 15 years.
They wanted him dead. They wanted him murdered. They wanted to slay the demon. They had to make it a little more elaborate. But you're right. I mean, like the main guy doesn't care. He's just dealing with like his life falling apart financially. He's mowing his grass.
Well,
and
and the cops delaying it actually, affected his outcome, right? His shit went into auction because they took too long to get the money back. If they had just arrested him immediately, instead of doing this whole elaborate plan to have him buy heroin and somebody died, right? That's the other piece of it. Like there was more collateral damage.
yeah, maybe they made the wrong call. That's fine.
It was the wrong call. That was the wrong
But
call.
they had their goal. And they wanted him gone. The guy was like a joke. He tried to kill himself when he realized the cops found him. He tried to and couldn't get away. He tried to swallow the heroin to kill himself. That's great.
Did we ever learn what the deal was with his hand? Like what happened there? He had a big scar and a bandage, and that was like one of the ways they were able to confirm that it was him. But did we ever learn like
No,
why there was no other information about the scar?
no.
Because I thought it was good. Like he was making a shoe or something. He used to work for a shoe factory when he was a kid and cut his hand, and that was like something he just held against it. I don't know. That's what I thought was going to happen.
I'm glad they didn't do that.
Why?
That would have made the movie less good.
It's like a super villain,
I'm mad because I cut my hand on a machine you were working and then you fired me.
Couldn't be a surgeon because he had a big deformed hand or something.
I'm glad that he's just a sociopath, just a guy that hates the rich guy, right? I mean, he just hates the people in their ivory tower, and just because he's poor, though, he's evil in this case. And the one guy who's rich happens to be a good guy. I mean, it's not dispositive. Being rich doesn't inherently make you evil. Being poor doesn't inherently make you good. I don't know. I'm glad that he didn't have. I'd be like, okay.
So you guys aren't pro kidnapping, huh? You're not with me on that?
I don't think God's children are for sale.
I mean, I'm okay with man napping, but not the kidnapping.
You could, yeah. I mean, all these like I mean, obviously, don't go shoot a CEO, but like, could have just kidnapped the guy instead of shooting him. Luigi could have just kidnapped the guy and like, I want to United Health. I want you to pay $100 million and I'll return your CEO.
How do you get away? How do you ever get to spend that money? How do you
non-sequential bills, man? Non-sequential bills. You make sure not to burn your suitcase because they're gonna put smoking that fucker. So don't burn your suitcase. Don't go back to the heroin people. Just leave them be. There's ways to get away with it.
Talk. The heroin people were going to talk. There's no way. Leaving them alone wouldn't have helped. They were a massive loose end. I wouldn't recommend using drug addicts in your crimes as a general proposition. I don't think they're reliable. I think Gus Fring was right. You can't really trust drug addicts. It's my 2 cents.
But like, if it's an adult man-napping, you're right. Like, you say Elon, you kidnap him. I'm sure he's got private security, so that would be a complication. But you're like, hey, I'll return you if you pay me. Like, Elon, just out of your own, sell some stock, $100 million. I'll let you go.
How do you get $100 million and have it not be traced?
It's cash, straight cash, man.
Bitcoin.
Send me some.
There you go, Bitcoin maybe. Maybe with Bitcoin. Now you're talking.
Some blockchain, there you go.
There you go.
It's untraceable.
Deposited in Bitcoin, maybe. 100 million bank transfer is going to be pretty easily tracked, I think.
Yeah, that's why you can't rob a bank anymore. I mean, what do you do with that money? That's why nobody robs banks.
Well, according to Den of Thieves, there's a bank robbery every.
5 seconds?
There's 9 bank robberies a day in LA.
yeah. There's no way that's true.
I think you have the same problem. Bitcoin now that opens the door for me. Now that you can use, cryptocurrency to get paid, then now there's a chance. Now you can get some money that's maybe not traceable.
Are we conspiring, guys?
Yeah, is this a crime? No, I mean we're talking movie plot, obviously. What do you think of kidnapping movies? There's a bunch of them. Ransom
for one.
Ransom's
I thought of that one a bunch too, where he's like, "Here's this money, bring me the kidnapper's head, and I'll give you however much money it was."
What's the Denis Villeneuve one that's absolutely so heart wrenching to watch? With Gyllenhaal, what's that one called?
Prisoners.
Prisoners, yes, that's a kidnapping movie. It's more of like an abduction movie. I guess totally different genre, not a ransom type movie.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know.
Tough watch. That one's a tough watch.
I have never seen it.
Not as fun as this movie.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Maybe that's what it is for me too. Is like once the kid is safe, it's like that sort of tension is gone. They're like, oh shit, is this kid gonna die? And now it's more just like a fun cop movie. Maybe that's what it is for me.
That's part of it, for sure. Like the stakes change. The rich guy has already lost his money. Really, there's not a chance to save him. So it's like, will they catch him or not? You can just root for them to catch him. And there's not.
But then when they start throwing him in, you almost start to root for him to get away. Like when you start learning, like, oh, there's, obviously you see his apartment. He's all hot. He's poor. He's living in this shack, and he looks up at the house. So you start to kind of feel for him. I know you don't really know much about him, but at some point you're kind of like, let's see if he can get away. You know what I mean? He's done all outsmarted the cops so far. Like maybe I want to see him get away with it.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was going to get. There was a bit of me. It was like, is he going to get away with this for a while? I was like, especially when he goes to the weird drug alley scene. I didn't know what he was doing. It's like, what's happening here?
Or I thought maybe he's going to. We're both confused by that.
Yeah. Like, is he just going to do the heroin and kill himself because he knows he's being tracked and he just wants to die? He's going to go out in a blaze of glory? I don't know. Even though nothing really surprising happens, I love the sense of just not knowing exactly how this was going to play out. Yeah, and all the I know I love the procedural stuff. I absolutely love it. I was like, oh, I bet this is the part Eric likes the best. I was just had that thought watching it. It's like, oh, but Eric's finally into this movie now.
Director Martin Scorsese included this on his list of 39 essential foreign films to watch for a young filmmaker, and on his list of 84 favorite films of all time. So he apparently he's like a huge Kurosawa fan, right?
Sure. I think almost all those dudes are. Like, if you went to film school in the 60s, Like you were probably watching Kurosawa, and you were probably just like weaned on these movies.
Yeah, just like George Lucas.
Yeah.
Like Francis Ford Coppola probably loves Kurosawa. Spike Lee. Like this is, I mean, Kurosawa is just this absolute giant. I mean, it's easy to be cynical about movies, and it's correct to be cynical about movies. But this is one that like kind of restored my faith a little bit because of the movie that came out like 2 decades before I was born in another country that I'm probably never going to visit, by people I'm never going to meet, and I was like, oh, this is wonderful. Like, how great is this? That this was made and exists. I know you think it's too long, Eric, but it's also a movie I don't think has actually a lot of fat on it. I think it's very precise and tightly constructed. I think it takes the right amount of time when he's trying to weigh his options and figure out what to do and how to play it. In the dialogue, it's just not too verbose. It's just the right amount. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Nothing gets lost in translation. It reads really well.
I mean, every little thing plays into everything, basically. That's great.
So highest to lowest is Spike Lee's movie that comes out. It actually premieres on the 19th in Cannes. Stars Denzel Washington. I assume he's playing basically the
Kingo Gondo.
King. His name's David King in the movie, so I mean he's the dad.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow, sounds like it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, we'll see Spike Lee. I'm kind of, some of his movies I love, some of them I just don't connect with, so we'll see.
Yeah, I never know. Same thing. Sometimes I really love Spike Lee. He's got some just great stuff, and then you're like, eh. I haven't seen the remake of Old Boy. I don't know why that exists. Like, I don't know why we needed a remake of Old Boy. Like, even
this,
really
I think you make a modern telling of it. I think could be kind of cool if it's done really well. Like, maybe don't spend so much time on making shoes and.
Why do you hate shoemaking so much? Why is that so laughable and stupid to you?
It's such a weird thing to have, like, the entire plot centered around this guy's takeover of a women's shoe company. Like,
would you like it better if it was a men's shoe company? You think that's less weird?
I guess I don't know. Like something like this is not.
What should they have used for the corporate takeover?
Just like a bank or something. I don't know. Why shoes? It's just.
Well, the concept is pretty simple and elegant. I thought the way he described it.
Yeah, and I know you laughed at it, but like I've heard this expression: spend on quality for what goes between you and the ground. Like you should spend money on stuff like a really nice chair, nice mattress, stuff that goes between you and the ground. He kind of says that shoes are important and they should be high quality. And he worked his way up as a tradesman. I think that's another important component of this. Is that, and at one point he sews the pink smoke packet into the briefcase. He does it himself because he's going back to his old skills. He worked his way up.
He needed his old toolkit.
And I guess you could technically work your way up at a bank, but this was a guy who's actually trying to deliver something of value, and the rich dudes just wanted to eviscerate that value. I thought that was important and interesting, but if you think a different product would be less obviously ridiculous and stupid, fine. I thought it really worked, and it isn't that important, really. It's, I don't know, a 10-minute, 15 minutes at the beginning of the movie, and then it's really about, okay, is he going to save this kid? Then are they going to catch the kidnapper? So even if it was dumb, I think it's a smaller part of the movie.
Didn't love the shoe subplot is all.
I know you didn't. I just, it's fascinating.
Wouldn't that be funny if like half of Spike Lee's movie is Denzel Washington like making shoes? I could totally see him doing it. Like these things are flimsy and like you got to make good shoes. Like, breaks
you could
it out,
absolutely make him a sneakerhead, right? Like
right, yeah. Oh yeah, I could
really
see it happening.
Sneakers.
Yeah. He's like a fake Nike executive or something like that.
Sure. Yeah.
You'd like that better because it's basketball shoes, though, right?
No, I would not. I would.
I mean, do women even need shoes?
The first half of them, yeah, aren't they just?
What are they complaining about? Just walk around. God gave you feet. Jesus.
The dude's wife
Yeah.
never wore shoes in the movie. She
Yeah, see,
just
exactly.
had her like kimono on and walking around the house. She never had shoes on.
I don't. Now you're convincing me. I think ladies' shoes are really stupid. Shouldn't exist.
They should just be pregnant and barefoot. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's like no other women in the entire movie, right? His wife is like the one woman we see.
Well, and the
who's
woman that does
heroin
the drug
addict?
exchange. Yeah, and the
That's
heroin
true.
addict.
We should have saw a little bit more of women wearing his shoes. We didn't get to see any of that. He did go back to his store and kind of fondly look at the shoe store when the kidnapper guy approached him. Remember he asked him for a cigarette or something?
Oh yeah, that's right.
He was staring at women's shoes. The guy just loves shoes. He's just walking around the streets of Japan, staring into windows of women's shoes. What a fucking weirdo. Kengo.
Okay.
It's his passion.
It's just-
He
You
goes
gotta have
back
some-
to it. He goes back to it at the end. He's
something
like,
you love.
I'm working on another shoe place.
Yeah, you couldn't give it up. I suppose if you're good at something, stick with it.
It'd be better if he followed like a men's sports team. That would be less weird, if he obsessed about a bunch of random dudes winning and losing a sports game, I think. That's what it should do.
I don't know. Is that a shot at me? I don't know what you're trying to
No,
say.
you don't care about sports at all. Not a shot at you. You don't watch other men compete against each other in athletic competitions. That'd be weird. That's fine. I don't even have women's shoes. It's women's shoes. I guess if that bothers you, dear listener, if you think being passionate about women's shoes is weird or gross or creepy, then yeah, I guess maybe you're not going to like this movie because it is a good 15 minutes of the plot. So be warned.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it. Outside of the shoe part, I would give it 4 stars. It's a 4 star.
Oh wow, wow. Okay.
Yeah, love dudes doing good stuff and being good at it. Always gets me.
This is a 5-star movie. I can't really think of what I would say is the flaw of it. Really, it's immaculately shot. It's immaculately acted. It's incredibly written. There's a whole lot going on. I mean, it's clear that there's this just like creeping Western capitalism coming in and infesting Japan and informed this. And I didn't realize it was called Heaven and Hell, but as soon as you say that, like, oh yeah, of course, because he does literally look like a demon in one shot. The bad guy, and everything is just like pristine at the top. It's incredible. I don't know. I don't think this movie has any flaws. It's great. I love it.
Well, I'm hand holding buddies with Ben in this movie. I'm 5 stars as well. I love the acting. Buffoni is immaculate. You can't
Yeah, he's
say
very good.
anything about his performance negative about it. I liked how the movie was split into different parts, and that captivated my attention each time. And the pacing of it was, I thought, well done. So, and it looked beautiful, and the one use of color was very, very striking.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. When the pink smoke came up, I was like, yeah, right on. When you just say that about the different parts, I think it could be like a mini series too. I could see it in like sort of a 4-part mini series.
Yeah,
Spend more time on the cops, a little bit of their backstory.
Should we just squeeze that first part into like 2 minutes? and
First
then
part would
the
just
rest
be
is
all the
cops?
shoes. It would be just shoe heaven. We'd follow a shoe, like do like a Breaking Bad, and we'd follow it all the way through the factory, and then it would put on someone's foot.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't bored by this at all. This movie's super entertaining. I mean, that's the thing. I was like engaged and captivated the whole time. This is wild. Like, just how great it is. Strong recommend.
All right. So I need to watch more Kurosawa movies is the takeaway. Are all of them 3 hours long? Does he make a movie
Yes.
that's not 3 hours long?
Yes, it's all very long.
Okay.
Like I want to recommend Kagamushu or Ron, but they're all really long. They're in color and they look great, but you'll probably get bored by sections of them. But they're absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, High and Low.
I'm
I've
surprised your
seen.
brother didn't make you watch Hidden Fortress or something like that.
No.
Yeah, I watched it because it famously inspired C-3PO and R2-D2 because it's a
Oh.
story. It starts with like two bumbling side characters before we ever meet the protagonist. And the screen wipes is something George Lucas took from Kurosawa. Love his screen wipes. We get at least a couple in this movie.
Yeah, he made
Yeah.
movies from 1952 to 1985. Crazy.
Yeah.
Earlier than that, I thought. 1943.
It's his first movie. Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah. Shit, even longer than that. Yeah.
And I mean and he doesn't even. I mean, his last couple are considered great. I saw them. I think they were on Roger Ebert's great movie list. So even he still made great movies in 80 and 85. So yeah, definitely. I mean, if you, it gives me hope, Eric, that you could watch this and give it 4 stars and mostly enjoy it. That warms my Grinch heart.
I really liked it. I mean,
that you got
gotta
a lot of joy out of
appreciate
it.
the quality of it alone. It's just awesomely made.
Yeah,
No doubt.
it's always, if I was trying to get somebody into like foreign classics, Kurosawa is almost 100% of the time where I would start. Depending on the person, but like his movies are just so incredible. And they play. They don't get. It's not like Ozu where they're just Ozu is I think a lot for a lot of modern audiences, but Kurosawa works great. Anyway, loved it. Pumped you picked it, Eric.
Cool. Very cool. So what are we watching next?
Is it my turn?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll stay in this year. Actually, we'll move it on up. Something from 2025.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought we were going back to
No, not
1963 again.
1963.
I was confused for a second too. It's like you're saying 1963 again. Oh man.
So
No.
it's a 2025 movie.
Okay.
It's an American science
Thunderbolts.
fiction thriller. Thunderbolts. I saw it this weekend. That was
I did
pretty
too.
good.
I saw it too.
Florence
Took the whole
Pugh
family.
is a very good actor.
Yeah.
Didn't see it, but sounds like it sounds everybody's like it's pretty good.
It's all
Seemed
right.
to be the
It's better than a lot of the terrible Marvel movies as they've put out recently.
So it's just considered kind of decent by comparison to the
Yes.
Trek that they've been churning out. Okay,
Yep.
not so much that
There's
it's great.
a lot about shoes in it too. Florence Pugh.
Really?
Husbands. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, like did this sour you on High and Low? That shootout. Okay, 2025
Science fiction.
American fiction thriller.
Yep, it's written and directed by Drew Hancock.
I am.
Don't know who
Lost.
that is.
Let's see. It was released January 31st of this year. Budget only 10 million, but it raked in 36.7 million.
So it was a hit. It was a low budget hit.
Is it Mickey 17?
No, that's Bong Joon-ho.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was written directed by Bong Joon-ho. This stars Sophie Thatcher.
Daughter of Margaret?
No.
Oh.
Man.
The
I know
other
that man is-
star is, I believe, the son of Dennis Quaid.
Oh, Jack Quaid?
Yeah, and Meg Ryan.
Oh, is this that Novocaine movie?
No. Though I have seen that as well.
Oh.
Oh, is it the one where he gets a robot girlfriend, Jack Quaid?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know the name of this movie, but I did see a trailer at one point. Okay.
Robot girlfriend, huh?
I don't know the name of it. I'm not going to be able to get the name of it until you say it, but I now at least.
It is Companion. Is the name of
Companion.
it. But yeah,
Oh, it's supposed to be good, right?
it's supposed to be really good. Yeah.
I thought that was a horror movie. It's more of a thriller then, I guess.
It's what it said on
Okay.
Wikipedia.
All right.
But yeah, I guess it could be a horror.
All right. Companion.
Supposed to be good. It was one that I'd wanted to watch in the theaters, but just couldn't make time for it.
It's an hour 37. Nice.
Yeah, tight.
90-minute. Yeah.
There you go, buddy.
All right.
They only spend 20 minutes on women's shoes on this one.
Yeah. Does he put shoes on the robot?
I hope so. I hope they're quality shoes, not cheaply made shoes.
Okay. All right. Excited.
Is it streaming anywhere? Or is it got a?
It's on Max.
Oh, okay. All right then. Right on.
Cool. Companion 2025. Check it out. Put your shoes on, or kidnap a kid. Do whatever you want.
Now, what if you kidnapped a robot companion?
There, Elon's
victimless
probably
crime.
gets- Yeah.
That would be
victimless crime.
They can just get another one,
Is there a lot of sex bot in this movie? Is that a big part of it?
Well, I presume that's what she is.
Okay. All right.
No, they just go to like piano recitals together. That's it. Never get sexual. He just concert going buddy.
There was I saw a trailer. There's a Megan Fox movie where she plays like a robot, but she's like supposed to do like house chores and stuff. And I haven't seen the movie, but it's like if Megan Fox is your house chore robot, like that's just
you're asking for trouble.
You're asking for real trouble there.
Yeah.
She's like, no, all I do is your dishes and laundry. Like,
well, I think in that movie, like the guy does sleep with her, and then that's where everything goes haywire. She gets like possessive.
Yes,
I think that's no. I've seen a trailer. It's that's where it goes. It totally goes that direction.
So you go with the anatomically correct Megan Fox.
Yes, if you're gonna have just a chore robot, make them just a bunch of R2D2 robots.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Don't make them sexual at all.
It just does bleeps and bloops and then does the things you need it to do.
Yes, sir. Completing tasks. Yes.
It'd have a Ben type voice.
Sure. Mowing the lawn. Master Lane.
I mean, I have a robot that like it vacuums my floor.
You got a Roomba?
See?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're saying you don't want
I've never had any ill thoughts to my Roomba.
What if the Roomba had a pair of tits on it, though?
If my Roomba looked like Megan Fox.
I want to fuck my vacuum cleaner.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye.